So I'm now configuring the branch local area network, and right now I'm configuring the from distribution to access switches. So we have to configure each interfaces. They have to be on trunk mode, no negotiation, to disable the dynamic auto negotiation, and we have to set the allowed VLANs, which will be created later, which VLAN 10, 20, and 99 for management. And also for distribution, we have to configure gigabit 20 and 10 on Ether channel. So we are going to bundle these two. So let's start with interface from 001 to 3. So these are the interfaces of the distribution that is connected to our access switch. So configure terminal and paste. Okay, done. We also have to configure the gigabit Ethernet 1 and 20. So we also need to put channel group 1 mode desirable. And we have to configure that interface as well. Now let's go to DSW2. As you can see, it's already showing native VLAN mismatch because we configured our native VLAN as VLAN 1000. So interface 01 to 3. There you go. Interface 01 to 2. There you go. Channel group 1 mode desirable. Okay, now we have to go to interface port 1. Now we are done here. Let's go to access switch 1. Access switch 1. Conf T. We have to configure the upstream ports which are going or connected to our distribution. We have to configure the interface 00 and 01. 00 and 01, right? Now the VLAN mismatch warning will stop because each link has now the same native VLAN. There you go. Now let's move on to access switch 2. We are also going to configure G00 to 1 as well. They are all as the same configuration. There you go. And also we have to configure their downstream interfaces which all go to the end users. So for switch 2, ESW switch 2, there you go. ESW switch 1, there you go. You have to always save the configuration. So now we have to move on with ASW 3. I'm just going to copy and paste this configuration for us to save a lot of time instead of writing each configuration one by one. You can just do something like this: prepare the configuration and paste it directly on each devices. Also interface 02 and 3. So now we have to double check the running configuration. Show run session interface 0001, all good. And 02 and 03, all good. There you go. All good. And for last one, yeah, all good. So right now we have to configure the VLANs. So let's start with DSW1. We have to the best way to configure VLANs is to configure the VTP first. Version 2, and then VTP domain is BR network, branch network. Okay, that means we are going to create the VLANs on DSW1, and it will distribute the VLANs on access switches and DSW2 so that all of them will have the same VLANs. So now I have to write here VTP mode client. So DSW2 and access switches acts as a client. DSW1 acts as a server as well. You can also configure passwords for security, but I'm not gonna do that here. There you go. So where are we at? So for access switch, all good. Two and three. And save, and the also last one, DSW2. There you go. Right. So now we can create VLANs here, which I already pre-configured, so I can save a lot of time. VLAN 10, name IT department. VLAN 20, accounting department. HR department 440, and 99 for management, so that we can easily manage all of this. That's why management VLAN is very important. Okay, now we have to double check if we also have the VLANs here. There you go. As you can see, I only configured the SW1 as a server, and they all now have the same VLANs. This is very important, especially for bigger enterprise. If you are starting to configure VLANs, you can just do this for a for time saving, show VLAN brief, I just have to double check each. Okay, so as you can see, they are already part of the IT department. Oh, why they are all in the same VLANs? Oh, I think I get them wrong. So ESW1 is for VLAN 10, which is correct. We have the Gigabit Ethernet 02 and 03 configured for access, but access switch 2 and 3 is not configured properly, so we have to change that. So we have to figure interface range G02 to 3, and we have to change the switch port access. Switch port access VLAN 20. Right. Okay, so show VLAN brief. Okay, now they are part of the VLAN 20. On access switch 3, they should be part of the HR department. So conft interface range G02 to 3, switch port access VLAN 40. Do right, do show VLAN brief. I forgot how to, or we can actually configure this. I just forgot the command on how to do it. How to avoid this on Cisco routers. I want to continuously write configs without warning interruption. Okay, so I have to go to no logging console. Okay. have to turn this off for a minute. Terminal no monitor conf t no login console. Okay. Okay. Okay, all good. Where we at? Now we have the interface VLANs. Now I have to... Oh, I haven't created VLAN interfaces yet. Only for VLAN 99. Okay, now I just have to create loopback addresses first, so that this distribution will elect them as their router ID. So interface one. IP address is 10.0. that 52. Yeah, 52. And the switch B2 is back one, IP address 10.0.53/32. Now for the upstream interfaces, I have to configure these IP addresses on these interfaces. So interface G00, I am now here at DSW2, no shutdown. IP address is 10.0.46.255.255.252/32. So let's say we have /24, right? So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's that's 6 skip. So we have to, what I usually do is I just count from 128, 192, 224, 240, 248, and 252. So that's how I always remember them. Okay, so no switch port, I guess. Invalid input detected. So no switch port, since these are multi-layer switch. I guess they are on a switch port by default. So type no switch port and then the IP address. No shut DSWBR1 interface G00, no switch port, IP address is 10.0.42.252. You're right. You can also add description on each links, but I'm not gonna do it here because I just need to save some time for my personal laboratory. Okay, now we have the IP addresses here. uh, later on we have to configure the core switch, core router, I mean core router local interfaces, and we'll do the OSPF point-to-point adjacency. So we are done. We have the IP, we have the switch port, trunk modes, we have the access ports done, we have the upstream interfaces done, either channel done. What do we forgot? Okay, so we haven't configured yet the VLAN interfaces on distribution, as well as the spanning tree mode. So my plan here is to use the SW1 as the active router. It's also act as the root bridge, or I mean, what do I call that? I forget. Yeah, I want to make this DSW1 as the root bridge for this from access to distribution. Spanning tree is very important, so we can avoid looping. As you can see, they are interconnected, so some of the ports will be blocking and some are forwarding, and some, yeah. Now since we are in DSW1, I want to use it as the root bridge, or the root. Now I have to configure the priority to 0, which is the lowest possible priority on STP, and this will automatically elect DSW1 as the root bridge. Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed something here. Oh, no, actually. Yeah, this is correct. I'm just double checking the configuration. Oh, now on DSW2, it becomes the secondary root bridge. Let's say this goes down, this will be automatically the will be elected as root. So we have to change it one higher than the primary. So 2096, 4096 if I'm not mistaken. Copy this. There you go. Do show run. $40.96, yeah. So to check, we have to go to spanning tree summary. Okay. VLAN 10. This bridge is the root. On electing for electing root on spanning tree, they must have the lowest possible priority. And if you want a backup, you just have to put one higher than this. See, on VLAN 1, which is not used in this scenario, its priority is 32.769, which is the default priority. So we have to configure that as well. VLAN 20, this is root bridge. So for calculating their priority, as you can see, I've configured 0 priority on VLAN 10, 20, 40, and 99, and as you can see, it's 10 here. That means they automatically add the VLAN the VLAN number to the priority. So let's say 4096 plus the VLAN number 10, yeah, so it's 0, so plus 10, its priority is 10. For VLAN 20, its priority is 20. For 40 VLAN 40. So if they have the same if they all have the same priority, spanning tree they based on their MAC addresses. The lowest possible, the one who has the lowest MAC address is the one who will be elected as the root. Okay. Okay, so now we all have configured the spanning tree, rapid spanning tree. Now we have to move on to routing. Oh, one last thing, we have to configure the management interfaces first. Okay, here they are, so we have to copy this. So we are going to configure interface VLAN 99. We have to explicitly no shutdown this because they are administratively down by default. Okay, done. DSWBR2. SW1. ASW2. And last ESW3. Oh, okay, so I already figured this out. So as you can see, all the uh, monitoring signs are gone. So we have to go to the line console 0. Configure terminal. Let's bring back the logging console. There you go. Now it's on again. Now we have to configure terminal. Line console 0. Logging. Synchronous. That means let's say there's a notification that shows up while I'm configuring. That means it will skip another space, and so that I can type my configuration continuously. It will not be interrupted. Synchronous. Okay, now they all have interface management IP. Now I have to put the now I have to configure the, what do you call this, HSRP. here, this one. So I have to configure interface VLAN 99. It has an IP of 18, and the standby, the virtual IP to be used is 17. Okay. So this one is for DSW1 and this one is for DSW2. As you can see, the priority is 105, higher it's +5. The default priority for HSRP is 100, and I just configured the interface. I just added this. I lowered it -5 just in case. So now I have to configure this. It's actually just the same. I already configured the IP address. Now I am going to configure the standby router. There you go, for DSW2. There you go. Now for VLAN 10, VLAN 20, 40, 40, and 20. I have to start with for VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 40. Now we just have to change this: VLAN 40, VLAN 20, and VLAN 10. So in my first branch, I use the IP address range of 1 to 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean 10.1, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, etc. Here. So I use 10.1 on VLAN 10, 10.2, 10.2 on VLAN 20, 10.3 on VLAN 40. Yeah, so I have to start with 10.4. So 10.4.0.0/24. and that 5 and that 6. Okay. So let's start with VLAN 10. We have the IP range of 10.4.0.0/24, interface VLAN 10, 10.4.0.2. Let me double check that. Okay, so 10.4, and it's standby group 1, right? So this will be group 2. 10.4, 10.4, and for DSW2 it's going to use .3, and their virtual IP is .1. So for group 3 interface, and lastly group 4. So we can save a lot of time doing the configuration. So for VLAN 20, we are using the 10.5, and 10.6 on VLAN 40. Let me double check first. So for VLAN 10, we are using 10.4.0.0, interface VLAN 10, no shutdown, IP address, the standby version, it's standby IP, priority, and preemption. Preemption means let's say the distribution 1 goes down and the standby router takes becomes active. Once the distribution 1 goes back on again, it will retake its active mode. So instead of DSW2 as the active router and DSW1 as standby, DSW1 gets that status. You can see now DSW1 becomes the active router, and now DSW2 becomes the standby router. Sorry. Okay, all good. We can double check by showing standby brief. Okay, though as you can see here, the standby is local. That means this DSW2 is the standby router. Their virtual IP is the first usable IP addresses, and for SW1 show standby brief. Oh, sorry. There you go. It can already detect the HSRP IP address for each VLAN that is configured on the SW2. And the P indicates configured to preempt. So for each VLAN, the SW1 is going to do the preemption in case of emergency shutdown happen. Now we are done with IP addressing, layer 2 configuration. Now let's move on to routing. So first I have to configure first the core router. Okay, so conft line console 0 logging synchronous sit. Now we have to configure their IP addresses first. So interface G00, which is connected to the SW1. No shutdown. IP address of 10.0.0.41 255.252, and then G01 no shutdown, IP address of 10.0.0.45. Now the interface G02 IP address 56, 57. So this is the 58, and the branch firewall, FortiGate firewall will use that 47. So for each so I need I almost forgot their loopback address. I'm just going to check it's This is 54. 54. Now I'm going to use 55 on branch core. Okay, we're back on track. I just double check my IP addresses plan so that there will be no duplicates and etc. Jeez. So I'm going to configure each interfaces as point-to-point IP OSPF network point-to-point, and IP OSPF priority is 1. That's it. Do right. Now I'll go back and configure router OSPF1, router ID is the 10.0.0.55 explicit configuration, but actually the router ID here will surely get the loopback address of that 55 because it starts loopback addresses as the highest among the decision making of routers onto getting their router IDs. But it's a good practice to configure the router ID manually. Now I'm going to advertise the network. I'm going to advertise its interfaces. So 10.0.0.41. I'll just show IP interface brief. Okay, so I can see all the interfaces that I'm going to configure. Network 10.0.0.41, 2.0.0, area 0, 41, 45, 58, and 55. Passive interface, loopback 1. Now I'm going to DSW1. I'll go to interface G00 and I'll make it IP OSPF point-to-point and IP OSPF priority 1. Now I'll go back and create OSPF group 1, process ID 1, router ID is 10.0.0.40, and exclude the unassigned interface. So these are all the networks that I need to advertise. Network 10.0.0.42 area 0 52 2 oh 4 4.2 5.2 6.2 6.2 and .18. I think I need to make those VLANs passive interfaces if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check first. I think I have to make those. Okay, so we also have to okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so passive interfaces, VLAN 10 20 40 and the loopback address. Network point to point. Router OSPF1, router ID 10.0.0.53. Then I'll paste the passive interfaces first. Then do show IP interface brief, exclude the unassigned interfaces. Now network 10.0.0.46 0.0.0 area 0 53. Push the up arrow and make it 3. This is 4. 10.4.0.3 area 0 .5 .6 and lastly .9 .19. Okay, I think that's all. Oh, okay, my default gateway should not be .1. I just missed that. So my default gateway should be 10.0.0.17. not that one. Configure terminal. IP default gateway is 10.17. Oh, I also don't have show VLAN. I don't have VLAN 99 on my IPs. But here I have one 19, but here I don't have. Okay, so interface VLAN 99, no shutdown. Okay. So for interface VLAN 99, okay, that's the virtual IP. That's 17. Okay, I'll just have to copy this and paste it on. I think I should be able to ping that 17. Okay. Now 10 that for VLAN 10 is 10.5. 4. That's 0.1. Just forget I am pinging a wrong. Okay, thank you.